Just letting everyone come into the party for a little bit. First episode of Catching Up with Mac. Got my first guest, HIGHSTRUNG, man. This is a dude y'all want to listen to, want to follow what he's doing. A guy that's really putting in the work here in San Antonio on the hip hop scene. Not only that, but a guy that's really just putting in the work in the community. I love everything that he posts, everything that he does. It's dope to watch. So like I said, I'm gonna bring HIGHSTRUNG in a second. Right now, y'all just catch a vibe, pour up a drink. Just catching up with Mac, man. I'm catching up with everybody right now. I'm still quarantined. This evening is sponsored by Jameson. They're not really sponsoring me, but if they want to, I'll take as many bottles as I can get. But it's sponsored by Jameson this evening. I smoke my own blunts. All right, HIGHSTRUNG, I'm gonna bring you in a second, man. I want to get this conversation going, man.
Everybody live, take a toast. Feel alive when I'm going ghost. I gotta keep my niggas real close. Cause if I don't, hey, stop my fucking up. You looking good in them jeans, shit. I'm gonna touch me that shit. This one chick back in the day, she tried to put me out. I put her on her knees, so I put it in her eyes.
Yo, HIGHSTRUNG too, while you're watching, man, get your drink. Get your drink. Told you, we're gonna be sipping a little bit on this. So get your drink. Figure out what you want to take a shot of if you're taking a shot with me. That's what we gotta do, man. I don't feel like it's safe enough to go out yet. Haven't out to any restaurants, any bars, haven't seen any friends, so this gotta be the vibe right here. Everybody lit, take a toast. I feel alive when I'm going ghost.
Gotta keep my niggas real close.
My boy Miles just jumped in. Hey, that's the guy that used to be on this scene back in the day. HIGHSTRUNG, you might remember AB, man. This is the guy that used to be on the scene back in the day here in San Antonio. Moved out to LA, man. Good friend of mine. Okay, hold on. Want y'all know we got a really great first show tonight. Gotta bring them in the right way. Woo! Oh. All right, bring my guy Strong in, man.
Yeah. What's going down?
I knew you feel that.
Yeah. You already know.
Yo, I've been jamming. I literally have been jamming this. It's funny because I see you post the video all the time, and
yeah.
I'm always watching the video. And man, this is like the perfect summer vibe right here. You know what I mean? It's got that bounce to it, that bounce. I've been jamming this, just so you know. It's
I
on
dropped
Spotify.
I dropped some punchlines in that whole tune.
I hear them, man. I hear them. I like it. I will turn down a little bit. So if y'all don't know, this is episode 1 of Catching Up with Matt. Reason I'm excited to do this is because, like I said, I know a lot of people are tempting going out right now and doing their thing and being back on the scene. But unfortunately, me and my wife, we still think it's a little scary out there, a little sketchy. Texas is back on the rise now with coronavirus cases and everything. And the thing is, what I want people to understand is, it's so funny because I had someone DM me yesterday and they told me, why are you still doing your quarantine videos on Instagram? Like, you're not quarantined anymore. And I was like, well, unfortunately I am. I just feel like there's been no straight instruction. You know what I mean? From the government, from the CDC, from the World Health Organization. And so it's like, we're still stuck inside. We haven't seen any friends. We haven't been to any restaurants, any bars, like I was telling people earlier. And so I wanted to do this show just to really catch up with people and kind of kick it and kind of have it be like a more chill environment. Doesn't have to be so structured. And I'm really excited to introduce my first guest right here. If y'all see him, man, this is a guy that has literally been doing his thing for over a decade in San Antonio. And if y'all don't realize, San Antonio is not a city like LA or New York where things really are so popping for the hip hop scene, or Atlanta. There's just not this flame about it here in San Antonio where it's just on fire and every corner is something.
Absolutely.
And for you to be someone that has been over 10 years doing it in San Antonio, it's amazing. So let me introduce right now, if y'all don't know, the one and only HIGHSTRUNG. Thank you for coming on the show, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. What's good, man? You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I want to say, you know what I'm saying, to see this manifest, to see this show manifest like it has, man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I watched you talk about this, and one thing about you, Corey, is you always, when you want to manifest something, when you want something to come to life, you always make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a gift within itself, because a lot of people want things to happen, but they don't ever put forth the effort to make it happen.
Exactly.
So you definitely one of those people who take action and make dreams reality. You feel me? So I'm proud to be on the show today. You know what I'm saying? For everybody that's tuning in, man, you about to catch something special. You know what I'm saying? Corey is actually, he's the inspiration for one of my shows, which is Trill Talk No Cap. You know what I'm saying? And I was inspired by what he does. You know what I'm saying? I met him. I didn't know I met him. Actually, he surprised me. We met a long time ago. But that's the whole thing. You had to catch that. But yeah, but nah, I'm proud to be on here, bro. I salute you and thank you for real.
Well, let me tell you, man, like I said, I was really impressed with what you were doing. And I thought to myself, I was taking advantage of this whole and here's the thing. It's so weird that it takes moments like this in life, like a quarantine, to basically, I mean, like you said, I mean, you know, I've been in radio for the past 4 years, was an artist for 8 years before that here in San Antonio. Right. And so you're right. It's interesting to think that it took quarantine to make even someone like you who's been an artist, or even someone like me who's in radio, who probably should have already been doing something like this before. But you capitalize on the moments that you had. And when I was on your show, we spoke about that, capitalizing on moments. And I've watched everything that you've done, man. And you inspired me to do this. And I know it's funny because you would think like, wow, like you're already in radio. This should have already been an idea. But you know what? It didn't come to mind. I didn't really ever have the time to put forth the effort, like you were saying, because I was involved in other stuff. But what I saw you doing was just incredible, because you were just bringing people on and just chopping it up exactly how I wanted to do it on here, where it was real casual. It's not so structured like an interview. It's just more like a conversation, like if we ran into each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was kind of like, man, you know, I think I'm losing out on that side as well. And here's the cool thing, too, that I love about you supporting what I'm doing is you're not someone that's sitting here and thinking that I'm impeding on what you're doing. Right. Because a lot of people that would do that, you know, a lot of people that would see this would think, well, HIGHSTRUNG's been doing his Trill Talk. So, Corey, aren't you doing the same thing? And you know what? It probably is the exact same thing. But I think we have two different audiences. Yeah, and two, like, this is your lane. Like, you know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm just this is me stepping into your world. This ain't my world. It, though. But you're killing it, though. This ain't my world, though. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that. But, you know, I just look at myself as a guest when I'm in another man's world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, I'm honored to have someone like yourself, like I say, give me the go. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like you passing me the baton, like, you know, saying, hey, now you run this lap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that shit, because you know what I'm saying? I have the respect of someone like you, who I respect so much in the radio world. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I seen you out there at the Gold's gyms and you know, hustling and doing your thing, I was like, damn, that shit is crazy. Like, if I wasn't rapping, I would want to be like a Corey Mack. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and for me, you know, now that I've been away from the radio station for, you know, months now, it's like I just felt like, you know, I had to get back to doing what I was doing. Right. And honestly, like I said, man, just excited to catch up with people. So let me start off first. How are you doing? I know we talked about 2.5 weeks ago on your show, but how are you doing? What's going on for you right now?
Man, I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain, bro. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I got new Fly Zone merch coming out. You know what I'm saying? I got some Fly Zone masks coming out for anybody that want a mask. I just been really working, bro, building the label. You know what I'm saying? we got a lot of things moving right now with the album. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually getting ready. I revamped my album like 3 times, but we finally getting it done. You know what I'm saying? My single drop is out right now. It's available on all platforms right now. You know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna play that again too. I want to make sure that we give it time to breathe
for sure.
on the video. So we're gonna play it again for you, so everyone that's in the chat can listen, hear what it is. Because like I said, it's a great song. You put out good music. You put out very different music than a lot of San Antonio artists.
Right.
It's got, you know what I like? It's got my kind of energy when I was making music. I always call it that hyphy. It's that more upbeat, that up-tempo, that bop to it.
Absolutely.
And when I've heard a lot of your songs, now you do have other vibes that you have as well, but that's a vibe that I have like from your music and when I was scrolling through your Spotify. And your YouTube. And I think that's cool that you're bringing that into the San Antonio realm. It's really dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Want to ask you real quick, what you sipping on this evening? You guys show the folks.
Right now, I'm finishing up this Bud Light. I remember you told me to prepare to have a shot, so I got a shot on deck. It's just sitting in the corner whenever we ready.
Okay.
And, you know what I'm saying? I bought a whole bunch of drinks for the kitchen, so I'm here with my manager. So she's gonna be my liquor provider. So whenever I'm running out. Whenever I'm running low, she's just gonna bring me something for the kitchen from the kitchen. You know
That's so funny because my wife right now is working on a cake. Because I think I told you this before that we have our own baking business. I'm sure you've seen me post stuff. Sweets. And so my wife's actually working on a couple of orders tonight. But I was like, yo, if you can help me out a little bit and grab me a drink, or if I need some more ice or something. But I would like to tell the folks, even though I'm not sponsored, Jameson, if they would like to sponsor me, I love it. The best Irish whiskey. I am Irish. So the best Irish whiskey on the map. This is what I'll be taking a shot of this evening. It's also what I'm sipping at the moment. So, hey, okay. So this is something that I really want to get into, and I hope you feel comfortable about it. I wanted to look right here, too. I know we want to get to comments, too. I want to make that about the people. As well as joining the show.
Shout out to everybody tuning in.
Shout out to everybody tuning in. Dude said, I love the Patriots stuff. Of course, man, big Patriots fan. My family's from Massachusetts, about an hour and a half from the stadium. Me and my wife got married up in New England. So a little bit about me, if people don't know. Huge Pats fan. We got from Tyler the Godson. He said, High Strung, what is your creative process? Do you hear a beat first or do you write first and then find a beat? I like that. Because that is something I always had to figure out on my own. I felt like every song was different. But let me hear from you. Do you find the beat first, or do you write a verse and find the beat to match it?
If we talking creative process, I normally like to listen to the beat like 100 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? I listen to it over and over. It just depends, because sometimes I can listen to a beat right away and the lyrics and what I want the song to be about will come to mind right away. You know what I'm saying? Or then sometimes like it'll take me a little bit more time, not because it's a struggle in the lyrics. It may be just like, what am I going through right now that I really want to put out there? You know what I'm saying? That I know others will relate to. I think my biggest problem before is that I used to try to write to what I thought people wanted to hear, and that wasn't working for me. So I started writing. I started not give. You know, it's funny when you don't give a fuck. That's when shit starts to happen for you. You know
really does.
So I started like writing just whatever was in my heart, whatever I felt. Cause I don't freestyle a lot because I freestyled today on Facebook, but it was just cause that was in my heart. You know what I'm saying? But I don't freestyle a lot because I'm a big writer. I like to write. I'm a writer from emotions. I can talk about money, cars, clothes, hoes, and make it rhyme with boats and cars, and you know what I'm saying? But I can't. I feel like if I really want to write something meaningful, I got to write it down. So my creative process is definitely listening to the beats. You know what I'm saying? I close my eyes. What is this beat saying to me? I ride in the car with the beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly just listening to the beat, and then it just comes to me. You know what I'm saying?
But do you have moments, like for me when I was making music, I just had moments where 4 or 5 bars in my head just sounded. I'd be at work. I used to be a server. And that gives you a lot of downtime at times to kind of think while you're at work. And there'd be plenty of times where I'd have 4 or 5 bars that would just really be clicking. And I would be able to come up with a really solid 16, something that just really banged. But I didn't have the beat yet for it. And then I already had a couple beats that I was playing with at home. Do you ever have moments like that where you do write a verse or you write a hook and then you're like, you know what, I've got 3 or 4 beats that could match this, and you kind of scroll through.
Yeah. No, I definitely do that. Like, and that's where that inspiration comes on from. Like today, I woke up just, you know what I'm saying, writing. Like I started rhyming in my head, and the shit was making sense, and it sounded super dope, and I wrote it down. And I don't have a beat to any of that yet. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just get up during that day and you feel inspired. You know what I'm saying? So that most definitely happens. You know what I mean? But I just feel like that as I started, like, I think I used to do that all the time. It always started with just writing. You know what I'm saying? Before I even heard the beat. But I think what got me used to it is that I would go to like session after session. And then as I started getting better, people wanted to collab with me. So I found myself in different studios, like, you know, 6 times a week, like, all the time, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then I had to learn, my producer taught me, you got to learn to write on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like just picked that up, and he used to time me on verses, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that kind of trained me to be the way that I am now. You know what I'm saying? I'll think, what is the subject? All right, how do I feel about this subject? Then start writing my feelings down about that subject. You know what I'm saying? So I think listening to the beat for me more so now, because of the level that I've reached in music, I think it's just easier for me to hear the beat, but I definitely still get inspired. Like today was a perfect example. It's crazy you asked that question, because today I was inspired just to write the freestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it was just, you know what I mean? I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, we got people in the comments right here. Patron 1K said beat first, then how to deliver it, which is very true. He said then you have to adjust it to fit the beat. Then the bars don't hit the same no more. Okay. So he's saying if you write the verse first, you kind of have to adjust it to the way the beat maybe like drops to. You know, in some beats that you get from producers, they have a solid spot where they drop the beat, where it's just silence. And a lot of times you want that to be your punchline, and you want that to be a solid punchline, because that's a moment that they're going to completely hear you and not hear the beat. And for me, I was exactly like you, man. I think I started off with just writing the raps. And then hearing a cool beat or hearing a song. You know, I used to love remixing tracks that were on the radio. I was that kind of like that Lil Wayne type of like mixtape guy, where a lot of my mixtapes had beats that were from the radio. And so I'd be like, man, that No Hands beat, you know, Waka, man, it was perfect with this hook that I wrote. But you're right. I think as I started to transition into more of a, I think what it is you start to transition from, you're right, a freestyler to a writer. Yeah. And I think that's a big transition for artists. Is that something that you saw? I think you kind of already said, but did you see yourself go through that transition? Yeah, absolutely. I just, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I say, I freestyle, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like your freestyle to me will never hit as hard as a song that you took time on and that you put a lot of passion and thought into. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of shit that niggas say, you can't really just automatically feel like, yo, like, damn, that hits. Unless he actually already had that punchline, or he was really just feeling that way. But most cats, when they spitting something and they spit something that's super dope, they can, you know what I'm saying? You can, and it comes off your head. You can even see it in they freestyle. Like, they look surprised. They be like, and they be like, oh, and then they'll go back into the flow because they didn't even realize they was gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what, and know what we're talking about too, because like I said, it's easy to be like, you know what I'm saying? I came through in the Maybach. Now I'm making big stacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that black lack, the windows tinted black with the seat leaned back with them chains on my neck. Every time I ride through your hood, I get respect. Yeah, I'm about to get a check. If you ever disrespect me, then I'm coming at your neck. Yeah, we got plex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's quick. Like, anybody can rap like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I think where a big misconception comes from freestyling is that a lot of people see these Hot 97 freestyles, these Power 96 or Power 106 freestyles, the big artists, but they don't realize that is a pre-worked verse. Hey, say that again, Corey. Say it again. And you just have to understand that. You know, I remember, look, one of my favorite... Hold on, Corey. Hold on. Tell them that one more time. Well, I'm going to get into basically, when you're on Hot 97, when you're on Power 106, it's very rare that it's going to be an artist. It's got to be an artist of very high caliber. I mean, we're talking about a Big Sean. We're talking about maybe a Luda, a Jay-Z, spitter, a Jay-Z that can put real shit together. That's going to be like, wow, and you're going to be mind blown. But most of the time when people are mind blown by these Hot 97, Power 106 freestyles. They
Exactly.
think it's off the dome, but it's not. And one of
go
my
listen
favorite,
to their albums. The same shit be on their albums.
real talk. And one of my favorite ones was when Drake went up to Hot 97 with Funk Flex. And he did, it was back like in 2010. And a lot of people clown Drake because he had his phone right there. And he was scrolling through his phone in the video. You know what I'm saying? And the freestyle was wild. I mean, it was a great free.
And I think he had his BlackBerry.
It was the BlackBerry, and a lot of people were clowning and said, "Oh, if the BlackBerry would have shut off, he wouldn't have gotten it down." And I think a lot of artists that were doing that at the time realized that they needed to go up to the station and already have it memorized, right?
Yeah.
And so people now, but here's the thing though that I want to tell people: there's nothing wrong with that. Because at that moment, let's say it was a pre-written out verse, right?
Right.
The DJ has every option to choose whatever beat he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So how Patron 1K right here was saying, it's hard when you already have something written and then to match it to a brand new beat that you didn't have in mind.
Absolutely.
That's where I think some of these artists really sell it. There's people like Jack Harlow and these newer artists that do stuff like that. Jack Harlow spit this crazy freestyle at Hot 97 that I know was pre-written, but Funk at least switched the beat 3 or 4 times, and he matched it every time. And so it's like, I think a lot of people they get this misconception that if you're not a freestyle artist, you're not that good of an artist. Have you heard that before?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
if you can't freestyle, if you only write, that you're not a real rapper.
Yeah, that's stupid as hell though, especially now because. Well, that's changed a lot. Like a lot of the older cats will say that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, but it's all about your mindset. It's all changed now because now you gotta understand that a lot of these cats that's rapping that wrote that shit down. I wish they would tell people they didn't write that shit down. You know what I'm saying? With the shit they spin, it's like so corny. I'm like, you wrote that shit? Like they be like, yeah, I wrote that song yesterday. I'm like, I believe you. That should only take 2 hours to write, if that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but. So it's like, I believe that shit, but I really believe an artist is an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe, you know what I mean? There's all types of different artists. There are people that paint with their hands and people that paint with the brush. Just like I think there are people that freestyle, you know, that battle rap, and there are people that get in the studio and make songs. They said that battle rappers can't make songs, but now even people like Meek Mill are changing that.
But the thing is, you know, but I've watched Joe Budden's podcast a lot, and obviously, you know, Joe Budden used to be one of those battle rappers. And
I gotta love hate with Joe Budden.
Dude, okay, I gotta hear about that because it's so funny that for the longest time I thought he was this grumpy ass guy, but as I started to kind of understand what he was doing and where he was coming from, a lot of shit made sense with the whole slaughterhouse. Drama that went on under M's camp. But one thing that he would say a lot is, that they say a lot on there is, these people are even in battle rap, they think that it's on the spot, but they know who they're gonna battle. So at the same time, they're at home preparing what they're gonna say. They're finding out about their life. They're finding out about their drama.
They get 3 months.
Yo, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they usually do. Well, I don't know if they switched it up, but they used to give them 3 months to come up with 3 different rounds. So that's
what I'm saying. So even that right there. But here's the thing: written, freestyle, whatever it is, on the spot or recorded in a studio. And I think it's all about what Patron 1K was saying earlier. It's all about how you deliver.
Yeah,
and I think the delivery is great. And like with your music, your delivery is excellent. It's on point. You know when to throw the reverbs into in your music. You know when it should have these. And I don't know how much influence maybe you have with your engineer. If your engineer takes more, or your producer takes more of that, or you give him more of that responsibility and you trust him. Me, I was always very hands-on with everything. I knew exactly where I wanted the echo to be. I knew exactly where I wanted the double to be, where I wanted the ad-lib to be.
That's what I love about my producer. We feed off of each other. So like, I'm very hands-on too, you know what I'm saying? But he introduces me to stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that I may not be, you know, hip to, and he'll be like, yo, just listen to this. Like he the first one that really got me to sing. Like I wasn't with the shit. I was like, bro, I'm a rapper. I don't really like, and he was like, nah, like just sing in your back vocals, like sing this to let that back vocal catch. And I really wasn't fucking with that. I was like, bro, I'm not a singer. And I remember one day I was really against it. I was like so embarrassed to do the shit, but he made me do it. And that song that I have on my album coming, it's incredible because of that back vocal. Yeah, there's something. It's off. I think it was off of Come Up.
And I got a quick question. I want to introduce, or I want to say what's up to some people we got in the chat real quick. But
absolutely.
I want to know real quick. Will we possibly get a little exclusive, a little preview, a little snippet on this show tonight of something new you got coming? Is that possible this evening?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, let me go through now.
We gotta give Catching Up with Mac the exclusive, man.
Okay. See, I want to make sure that my show is the place where we can break records too. So
absolutely.
For all the artists out there that are maybe watching right now, I want y'all to know this is a place where you can break records. This is a platform where you can play your music. I want to put people on. Nick Trey just joined in. That's family from Energy Man. That guy.
What up, Nick?
That guy taught me a lot about the radio game. I know you had him on your show. Great dude. Yeah. Still doing his thing.
Absolutely.
We got a Kickbox Fitness. This is actually, I think it's the uncle of my old producer, Ecstasy. I told you about him before.
Yeah.
We got D-Son 0689. What's up? Mighty Soldier 92. What's up? Looks like my mom joined in. What's going on, moms? We got Urban
D-Major
in the building. Now I really like D-Major and Cheryl, man. I gotta tell you.
Big salute to them.
These were people that had been following me for a long, long time. And I wish that I would have reached out a lot sooner than when I got on radio. I think that they were maybe even following me when I was still dropping kind of my later mixtapes. They might have started catching up with me, but I love what they do for the city.
Absolutely.
This was one of the questions I wanted to get in with you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get into it, but I feel like radio in San Antonio has just dropped the ball on local music, on local musicians, on local artists. And it's sad because before I worked at the radio station, I didn't understand. When I started working in radio, I understood. I remember I said this last time on your show. I said it's all label money. And
absolutely.
It's a lot of label money. And the thing that I was really upset with was there's so much time. There's so much unused time that I really felt like could have been used for local music. And the thing is, you just can't put on everyone that submits a song and stuff. And what I like about Cheryl and D-Major is I remember when they would post all the time, if you want to submit your music, you better have your radio edit added with it. You better have you got to have your complete package together. And you know all about an artist package, especially having a manager and everything. You're someone that is definitely legit in the game because you're going through all the right avenues, but there's a lot of artists that aren't. And I think where a lot of artists thought was that they just could drop a freestyle right here on their phone, upload it to SoundCloud and get it played on the radio. And that's just not how it's going to work. But at the same time, San Antonio has so many and so much good music and good artists that there was a good 1 block or 2 block hour, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whenever, on 98.5 or on my station that could have spent the time sharing and shedding more light on the local hip hop community. And how do you feel? Because I've seen you do things with 98.5, but I feel like it's been more recent. I don't feel like I saw you doing things maybe before 2016, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Nah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's I mean, for me, it was never about like, you know what I'm saying, I kind of figured how it would be, you know what I'm saying, with the local scene as far as people showing love, you know what I'm saying, as far as like them telling you that you have to grind. Actually, it's a story, man, where I got into it, you know what I'm saying, with someone over at 98, you know what I'm saying, due to like just, it was a lot of people that wanted to hear me on the radio, and they weren't playing me at the time. And but I never took it personal, man. I just think that a lot of people, you know, you have to meet their standards of why they should put you on. You could be grinding for 10 years and putting in work, but if that person still don't feel like you put in enough grind, guess what? They have the platform to say, I'm not gonna put you on. You know what I'm saying? So it's still, to me, it just felt like, okay, I still haven't hit them with an eye opener. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kept me motivated and inspired to keep pushing and keep going to the point where they have no choice. where they like, so that's where it came around with 2016, where it was like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is doing a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely, you know, if I'm being honest, I feel like that a lot of people that all radio stations could be doing better when it comes to the local scene.
100%.
Because I just feel like, you know, I know 98 was doing the whole you know, on Sundays and stuff, but you gotta look at the line there, you know what I'm saying?
Was it Texas Bangers or something? It was something.
It was Texas Beats.
Texas Beats.
Beats. And the only thing that I say, you know what I'm saying, it was great that they were giving people the opportunity, but the only thing that bothered me about it was, like, for one, you doing it on Sunday and you keep saying local, local, local. You know what I'm saying? That's almost a bad word. It sounds crazy, but saying something is local is almost a bad word, especially when you're trying to promote it. Because when people hear local in the radio, they automatically go, you know what I'm saying? Because you got people always wonder, you know, we got people from here who will spend $1,000 on a Drake ticket. And Drake ain't never been to San Antonio, but you got people that might be just as talented here in your city, but because they not where Drake is, they not gonna come see your show.
Exactly.
So I feel like that and I hear people, and trust me, it's not only San Antonio. I hear people no matter what city they from, oh, our city be hating on us. It ain't that it ain't always that. It's just that your city don't see you big yet, and people don't really. If we just being all the way honest, they don't give a fuck, bro, about your grind. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the process. They like, oh, that's dope. But they only want to see your process when you make it big. Like right now, if we seen Drake's come up right now, it would be dope to us because he's already Drake. So it would be like, oh shit, like Drake went through that too. But if he was just somebody we didn't know, we wouldn't care to watch that shit.
Can I tell you something as well?
Yeah.
I think that it's all about the effort. And like you said, it's not the standards is the correct thing. If you don't have a legit, like, let me tell you something. I don't believe my music personally, and I can say this straight up, my music, once I got into radio, I realized my music was not going to be played on the radio. I didn't have a legit engineer. I didn't have a legit audio system that I was using. I was trying to learn Pro Tools, but I was still using GarageBand. I did have legit beats, but the thing is I think the tuning, the sound, I think sometimes the bass was way too heavy. Everything was out of mix, but I was trying to do it all on my own. And when I got into radio, I realized, yo, your music was not refined the way that radio needs to play music. It's a certain frequency. It's a certain, you're right, it's a certain sound that has to be on the radio, and it has to be professional. So that's a first step for San Antonio artists, I think, to realize. Is you want to make it to radio, you need to invest your time getting on that professional level. Look, the whole closet thing and all that, it can work and you can do it. But you got to make sure that you do got the equipment or you got the guy sitting there behind the computer that can get it done. I think that's a big thing. Second of all, I think what I really liked about you, and let me tell you, I already saw that you were a movement in San Antonio. And so when I decided to start using my platform and radio to start shedding light on San Antonio artists like you and like my friend Indigo Jones that I took on Urban Suite and was trying to start managing, when I realized that, and I'm sure your manager's name is Lisa. Am I right?
Yeah, she right here.
Lisa, hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
What I realized about managing, because I really wanted to manage artists, and what I realized about managing is that is a full-time job. And I'm going to have Indigo on my show at some point, and I feel like I was kind of letting him down trying to be a manager because it's a full-time job. So, Lisa, what you're doing, I want people not to mistake it. It's a tough job. So I was trying to do it with radio and going to club events or being out at this until 1, 2 in the morning and then got work at 6 in the morning until 2 or 3. It's a grind. But what I loved about you, though, let me get back to it, is that you made the effort coming out to meet me and meet me at remotes and say what's up to me, and you brought me tickets to your show at Breathe Lounge, which I'm so upset that I missed that show because that shit looked lit. I'm so upset, and I'm telling you, I'm there. Everything you got from here on out, I'm there. Mask on, gloves on, quarantine. I'll wear the bubble suit. I'm there. But it was the effort that he made. And I think that a lot of these artists in San Antonio think that if they just got a little buzz, that basically that I should have to know them. Right? That since I'm the radio guy, I should have to know them. Man, I don't have to know fucking anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm on the radio.
Straight up.
I'm here to do my job, talk on air, and knock out what my station wants me to knock out. Promote their contest, promote the station, talk a little pop culture. But the thing is, I don't have to know anybody, and that's some real shit.
Facts.
And
you know what's crazy is you catch a lot of hate. What you saying is so powerful and it's so true. You know what I mean? But you catch a lot. Like me as an artist, bro. I get hated on for doing my fucking job, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like what you said, I go out and meet people. Nobody on my team, like we all bosses, you know what I'm saying? So I never, you know what I mean? Like Lisa will tell you, bro, when she calls me a CEO, I'll be like, yo, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But it's crazy, bro, because what you saying is so true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I go out, I sell 300 tickets myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pull up on people. I tell them, if it's too many people, I tell them I'm going to be at a certain location. They come get the tickets from me myself. We got a lot of artists that feel like they entitled to their fans. Like, oh, well, my fans know to come see me. But it's like, but you only got 15 people at this show, and 10 of them are your cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a reason for that, because, and then they see people at my shows and the shit is packed shoulder to shoulder because I put in the work. And then they want to say stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? He probably, you know what I mean? It's always, I don't know what the excuses are, but it's always a different type of excuse on why I have certain people, you know what I'm saying? Why I have certain people at my shows, or why there are people at my shows, you know what I'm saying? But for one thing, I'm proud of myself is because, like you said, bro, I'm a hard worker. I pride myself on that. And I have a very diverse fan base. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can relate to me. At my last concert, bro, it was 55-year-old people, or 50-year-old people, right? It was 50-year-old people standing next to 19-year-old people that was vibing to the same music. That was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't walk in no Lil Uzi Vert and see a 55-year-old man singing Uzi song. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, you don't know though. You don't know nowadays. You're right, man. Because
but I'm saying it's
55-year-olds were the ones that were 30 years old in the 90s. You know what I mean? So it's like you could have that, but you know what? On the flip, on to say the 55-year-old, shit, I see you getting little 8, 9, 10-year-olds at an elementary gymnasium, and you're performing for them, and they're hype, man. So your range of your demographic is so far, and we talked about this on your show, where there is nothing wrong with that, because the thing is, Drake makes a song like Tootsie Slide because he knows that a family can vibe with that with their little ones, and they can do the dance on TikTok, and they can have fun, and they can feel like they're young again, because maybe they are 45 with a 10-year-old son or daughter. Yeah. And maybe they're like, man, I want to feel that again, like how we were young. But if we keep listening to this Aerosmith and fucking, you know, Willie Nelson and shit like that from our time, like it's not going to appeal to them. And so that's a big thing. Back on the radio thing, I just want to make sure people understand this. I really do, because I'm telling you, what made me and your connection. So for people that don't know, Urban Sweet said, you picked the right one for your first interview. You were in mine the entire time for my first interview. I want you to know that. Because
that's what's up, bro.
I finished our conversation the last time. So I want you to know that.
I appreciate that, man. For real, thank you.
But the radio part, these artists feel entitled. They feel like I've got a little buzz, and it's in your best interest to know me. But someone like you who has that buzz and has it going in San Antonio still was willing to make the effort to come out and meet me.
Right.
And what I like about that is basically, I'm not saying we shouldn't have met. Well, we did meet before. And I followed you the entire time. And finally, I got a platform that I was able to put you on, which I wanted to do. I'm
honored, bro.
But what I'm saying is, I really appreciated that, because there was someone saying, like, you know what? We got to meet eventually. And if I want to further my success in this city, then maybe I should go kind of meet the gatekeeper. And a lot of people would say radio is your gatekeeper. Now, I don't believe radio is the gate key to success nowadays. Not with SoundCloud, not with YouTube, not with Instagram and TikTok, where you could put your own unique song on and have people doing videos to your song. Or not even like Twitch, where Twitch is so big right now, where all these gamers are looking for new music to preview on their Twitch channel. Some of these gamers, and it's so funny, I am huge into Fortnite now. I'm like, I'm about to be level 100 on Fortnite. If y'all want me, Heart of a Killer, come get me, because I'm killing it.
Come get some.
Me and my niece, me and my she's about to be 12 years old. Me and her killing it on Fortnite. We run in duos. Y'all let me know if you want some. But these gamers, man, and that's what I wanted to ask you next was, these gamers have tens of thousands of kids watching them playing video games. But at the same time, they're playing music in the background. Yeah. Is that something you and your team have discussed getting in? Have you noticed that? Or have y'all
It's crazy because we already into that. We already got our song. We got our song being played and networked right now through gamers right now because my producer slash the artist that I signed, Neil Alex, he's a big gamer. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's on Fortnite faithfully. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we used to.
Me and him need to link up. We need to link up.
He probably gonna jump on my back for saying this, but we used to argue in the studio when I come in there. I felt like Dame Dash, like, nigga, what is you doing? Get up. We got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be on that game tough. You know what I'm saying? But he put me on game. But like I said, man, he put me on game so tough especially with the gaming, because he was like, bro, I play your song every time I win Fortnite and I'm the last one and I win first place. He was like, I always put your song on my recordings, and then he reposts them. So these cats that's following him, you know what I'm saying? Because he has a nice following on Fortnite because it's just how he does on the game. You know what I'm saying? They go download the song. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we already definitely tapped into that, bro. I'm into tapping into anything new to help get the music out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm very big on that because, you know, as an artist, bro, you got to be willing to grow and be into new things. One thing I can't stand is when rappers say, you know, that ain't my thing. That ain't my. Well, you better.
That is one of the questions on my damn sheet that I got ready for you. Was that, man? I'm so glad you.
Yeah, I got my music even on documentaries right now.
Say that again.
I said I got my music even on documentaries right now. Like with the Spurs, like Ruby Gay.
Oh, I saw that video. The Rudy Gay one that you did.
Yeah, Rudy
but
Gay.
It was a while ago, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit ago. He used my song for his comeback.
I spoke about that on air.
Yo, okay. Yeah.
I spoke about that on air.
Hey, shout out to Corey too, because Corey was one of the first ones when he was the main part of why my mixtape was the mixtape of Summer 18. Corey had mentioned the mixtape on radio, and everybody went and downloaded and tried to listen to it right after that. So big and that was that either before or right after we did the Padre? Was that before?
After Padre.
Right. Okay, so it was right after Padre. So I thank you for that, bro. Because
I did a blog about you too. We had to start doing podcasts. And we had to start doing kind of like little blogs and stuff. And I spoke about you and what you were doing at Padre. I don't think it's on the Energy website anymore. They don't want none of my stuff on there, but that's okay. No. I'm really glad that you talked about that, man, because that's what I wanted to speak to you about is I saw during this quarantine time that not only were you willing to be vulnerable and go out and do a show like Trill Talk, which I think is amazing. And I've seen the numbers you put up because you post the after the show, which I'm excited to do with mine too, because it's like you want to know what you get afterwards, you know?
Right.
You were willing to put yourself out there like that, which a lot of artists would be willing to. At the same time, I see you doing your thing on TikTok. And I see you doing your little parodies, and it's exactly what I'm doing. And the thing is, there's so many artists out there, and just, you're right, kind of older people that are like, man, that's for kids, and that's this and that, and it's just not, though. It's the way to success is breaking that barrier and reaching out to a new audience. And of course, TikTok right now, man, on a lot of my videos, when I look through the likes and stuff, man, it looks like it's like 14, 15-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to be 32 in July. And so it's like, damn, these kids literally have my age, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, yo, that's dope that these kids got me to 130,000 views and 10,000 likes and this and that.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that artists feel like, this was something I want to get into. Why do you feel like artists feel like they just, and especially some San Antonio artists, why do you feel like that they feel like if they just rap, that's enough in 2020?
Mainly because a lot of them, to tell you the truth, want to dib and dabble in other things, but they just afraid to. They care too much about what the public think about them. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how you should live your life. You know what I'm saying? If I live my life trying to please everybody in my life, you know what I'm saying? I would never get nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always going to be somebody telling you that you should be doing something different, or you should be, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, I think that they got to stop caring. And I think that they eventually will understand that that's why they didn't become successful. It's because they tried to just, you know, no rapper has made it successfully just being a rapper. Look at all the successful rap artists that you look up to, that people look up to. Look at Jay-Z, look at Diddy. Diddy got colognes, Diddy got clothing, Diddy got Ciroc.
Diddy had an MTV show?
Yeah, exactly. Diddy make people walk and get cheesecake for him.
You gotta be a mogul in this
Yeah, you gotta
business.
this is a business. You know what I'm saying? There's no way, I don't care how dope you are as a rapper, there's no way, especially with how saturated music is now with the internet, there's no way that your rhymes is gonna keep you alive in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, my passion is music and I love rapping, but I also have an entertainment company. Flyzone is not a rap label. It's an entertainment company. Shit, we'll sign a golfer if he sponsors Flyzone when he's out there golfing. You know what I'm saying? I do comedians. I don't give a damn if you a clown at the damn doing for kids. If you're the best clown, you're gonna wear a Flyzone clown mask. You know what I'm saying? It's an entertainment company. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what my rap is gonna help me do. You know what I'm saying? Build that. So that way, you know, and also I do motivational speaking with the kids because the kids are our future. You know what I'm saying? We need these kids to carry on our legacy. Like right now, the way I'm looking at it, even when we talk about like the racial issues that's going on, the kids of tomorrow are changing that completely. These kids that's coming up don't give a fuck about race. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so lovely to see these young ass kids they just posted some little girl talking to her parents about, she was a white little girl. She was talking to her parents about like how like she was educating her parents on how certain blacks don't have the same opportunities and why.
And was it the one where the parents were kind of going back at her and was like, no, man, I posted that video. Let me tell you, me as a white man, we need to have her on the front lines out there with the Black Lives Matter movement, because which
is crazy, because like I said, she was educating her parents. And this is one thing, and this is why I want to shine light on people like her and yourself, is because, you know, and I'm gonna say this with confidence, Corey could probably tell a lot of you motherfuckers more about hip-hop than a lot of black dudes that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because this man was an artist. He'd been through the hood. I can contest, because he used to perform at Boss Bar. If you ever been to Boss Bar, it's the only place where you can have a great time.
Or the studio on Paramvidal, man. Let me tell you, that was
you know what I'm saying? Like, at Boss Bar, you didn't know if you was gonna have a good time, get drunk, or get shot the same night. Like,
let me tell you, the first time I went to Boss Bar and the cops patted me down, I've never been patted down to enter like a place.
Yeah.
And
it was the first day you were a black man.
Yo. and High Strung, if this is cool, man. I wanted to touch on this with you earlier, but I really would want to love to touch on right now. But I do want to touch on everything that is going on right now. And it's really important that me as a white man, and this is 100%, but white people need to understand that there is a privilege out there for white people. And someone like me, I was very vocal on this a couple weeks ago when the George Floyd video came out. That, you know, I didn't ask to be born with this privilege. I'm Irish American. But the fact of the matter is that I've got this color skin right here. But I told everyone on my video, and I've told my wife and told people before, it's all about how you decide to use that privilege. And I've decided to use that privilege to speak out against racial injustice and the systemic racism that's been going on in America for centuries, since the beginning of America. And so, as long as you're comfortable speaking about it, I did have a couple questions here I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, you know, I'm ready.
So, first off, I really want to know from you, man, being a black man, being in the hip hop world, which is predominant African-American, 100%. Trust me, I was so thankful to be allowed to perform at Boss Bar and perform in the studio because I was the only white guy in there. And let me tell you, man, I tell people all the time that for people that don't know or aren't around it, man, the black community is loving, they're accepting, and they're willing to give you the time of day. And it just angers me that it's not the other way around. It upsets me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I want to really know straight up, when you saw the George Floyd video, what was your reaction?
For me, it was off top anger, bro. It was anger. It was the way the officer looked with his knee on his neck in the picture. You know what I'm saying? And
hands
then
seeing the video.
Yeah, seeing the video just you know, and I think, you know, it reminds people, at least most people, you know, of color, maybe some of experiences that they went through themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being 17, slammed on the hood of a car, you know what I'm saying, for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the first time I got pulled over, I was coming from a movie theater, and a cop asked me to step out of the car, and I was asking him for what. And because I asked him for what, he slammed me up against the hood of the car.
Wow.
Matter of fact, my first concert here in San Antonio, the day before my concert, I was picking up somebody from Cali, a producer from Cali, who produced some of the songs. I had him flown out here. I flew him out here to be at my first concert here at the Alamo City Music Hall. A cop that got in my face arrested me. You know what I'm saying? Because he just didn't like that. He just didn't like me. It was no real reason. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't like me. But which is crazy because in San Antonio, we don't deal with a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Most cops here, if they don't like you, it ain't because of the color of your skin. They just dickheads. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, yeah, bro, I definitely felt anger. And, you know, for me, it was like everybody else. It was just the last straw. I had a friend of mine. He's also white. He grew up with me. And it was funny because he was like, hey, Paul, you know, he was like, hey, Strong, I want to ask you this question, man. He was like, because, you know, he was like, I'm just afraid to ask anybody else. So I said, man, you could ask me anything you want to ask me, bro. Yeah. So he was like, why George Floyd? Is it because was he such a big guy? I said, it's not about just George Floyd, bro. It's George Floyd was just the last straw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The tipping point.
Yeah, he was the tipping point. Yeah. And it's about all the victims. It's about everybody. But it was the last straw, and I was like,
and here's the thing: you don't want the other victims to get lost. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you know how a lot of people are saying, say her name, Breonna Taylor, which is a fucking horrific story. That is just as fucked up as it can possibly be.
Because it makes you feel like you can't even be safe in your own home.
Yo,
like, you know what I'm saying?
You telling me, man? Remember the white cop in Dallas that went into the black man's apartment because she thought it was her apartment and she was on the wrong floor, and that one just got me, man. And you're right, George Floyd got me too. But so did Trayvon Martin. So did Eric Garner. So did all these videos I've watched. The little boy that was running through the park and got shot in the back. There's just so many, and it's tough because you don't want it to get lost. But what it is this is the one we have right now at this moment. Yeah. And so you're right. I believe that's what it was. It was a tipping point. Also, what I believe that this, you know, personally, I believe that this was the moment that people truly had time. And what I'm trying to say is, protests start all the time. Protests start all the time. But this was the moment that a quarantine's going on, where 40 plus million Americans, including me, myself, is out of work, unemployed, the most unemployment there's ever been. I don't know if it's more than the recession. Don't quote me, but or the depression. I mean, the Great Depression. I don't know if it's more, but people have time now. And so I think what it was about that is, well, guess what? I don't got work tomorrow, and I don't got work the next day, and I don't got work the next day. So you're damn right, instead of having to go from protesting 2 days to then being like on social media protesting, I'm going to be out in the streets for 10, 12, 15 days because I got the time. Not only that, you want to know why I think that this one's so much bigger? Because we're seeing the retaliation of the protests. And I think that that's what's really scary about the protests. Is we're actually seeing cops now that basically are willing to do whatever. I posted that 70-year-old, 75-year-old senior citizen that they were willing.
Did they push down?
And of course, a white senior citizen. And so I did see a lot of people that were like, why are we so, a lot of people are, why are we worrying about a white senior citizen? But it's one of those things where no matter what,
but it don't matter. That's
Black Lives Matter. It's Black Lives Matter over everything. I don't care what anyone says. It's not all lives matter until a black life matters. It's not all lives matter until a Mexican lives matter. It's not all. It's not going to be all lives until every person matters. But right now, we're taking care of black lives, and that's what it's about. But the thing is, man, that could have been anyone's grandfather. That could have been anyone's great-grandfather, and it doesn't matter that, like you said, it doesn't matter the color of skin, like you just said. It's basically the fact, and I got a minute 53 to go on here. We're gonna start again. We'll try to go a little bit longer after this, so that I can save it and everything. But
absolutely.
Watching them just knock them down and not attempt to help them. Watching the people that have been shot in the head with rubber bullets. The kid that was shot in Austin by a sniper, and he was on a hill by himself. I think why this is so big, because we're actually seeing the hate from the police, that you're seeing it. Before it was just a couple guys in an alley. Now you're seeing hundreds of them willing to run up on people and beat people that aren't doing a damn thing but speaking their mind.
And that's why we have to realize how much power we have in the community. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, there used to be Black Panthers, and they would form and they would protect their own communities. I think that this is a really great time, because now you have all races that's a part of one community.
Yes.
You know, we're showing that. So it's like, once the police really figure out that, hey, these people are starting to stick together.
Yeah.
You can't separate the community.
No.
You can separate the police from everybody else, but you got to understand, we are the community. It's more of us than them. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they know better. They know, you know what I'm saying? They don't want every person in the community to come together and start forming, because they will be outnumbered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's why we protesting, because we don't want it to get that far.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I want it to be the Martin Luther approach before it turns into the Malcolm X approach. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be some type of justice. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I've never had to face no serious
Hey, strong. I got 6 seconds left. Let's jump right back on. I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick. You want to take a bathroom break? We'll jump right back on.
I'm gonna take one too.